Welcome to the Worst of the Riot podcast. Coming up, the best romantic movies for Valentine's Day.
Also, PETA is back at it again with an outrageous request and more on the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Isaiah, did you know JR has a dog?
I don't know if I knew that.
We don't talk about it much. JR from Nights with JR and Lex. He does have a dog. I didn't know it.
Does the dog have a name?
Blitzen.
Blitzen?
Yeah.
That's a wild name.
Sounds more like a reindeer.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Blitzen.
Blitzen. It's a puppy. Blitzen's pretty young.
Pretty new.
Yeah. Has this ever happened to you with your dog where you're like play fighting with the dog, but then it actually hurts you?
My dog has hurt me before, yes.
Yeah. JR was saying yesterday that recently he was play fighting with Blitzen, and Blitzen with his front paws scratched his eye, scratched JR's
Whoa.
eye. Yeah. But not like the actual eyeball.
Just like his eye.
Yeah. But JR was saying, he's like, it could be like it actually hurt, but it could be a little blessing in disguise because he's always wanted a face scar.
He seems like a face scar kind of guy.
Yeah, with all the tattoos and stuff.
Uh-huh. He needs a face scar.
Yeah, but it doesn't. I don't think it's bad enough that he's actually going to get a scar. I mean, he didn't even have to go to the hospital or anything. So
one time, Jim gave me a scar.
he did.
My pup did on accident.
Where is it?
It's on my nose. He almost ripped my nose in two.
Yeah.
Essentially.
How long ago was that?
This was probably it was actually on Christmas Day.
Mm-hmm.
I think 2 years ago. He was playing with a piece of wrapping paper.
Uh-huh.
We were playing with it together, and I was on the other side of the wrapping paper.
Mm-hmm.
And when he went to grab it back, he ripped through the wrapping paper, and my nose was on the other side. And there my nose went. And it was a bloody mess. I'm sure you remember that. Remember when my nose was all messed up?
It was all crusty.
Yeah, it looked ridiculous. I told you I was letting it heal.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want there to be a scar. I have a slight scar.
Yeah, that's not as cool a spot to have a face scar. On
your nose? No. It
But
looks like my nose used to be pierced is what it looks like now.
Yeah. It's hard to see it though. But if you had what JR got where like a cut across your eye, I mean, that'd be kind of cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that'd be much cooler. Especially like if it's in like a jagged scar.
Yeah. And
in the shape of a lightning bolt, maybe?
You don't have to tell anybody that you were play fighting with your little puppy. You could just...
I want to know what kind of puppy he has.
Yeah, I don't know what kind it is. I don't even know if I've seen a picture of it.
That was the worst part about when Jim was a puppy.
Yeah.
Those sharp baby teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my gosh.
And they're the teeth, yeah, they just gnaw on your arm. And
he was a big ankle biter when he was a baby.
Uh-huh.
And he was the worst.
And then and I'm sure maybe this is what happened to JR. I don't know exactly how little Blitzen is, but they're so clumsy, the puppies are. You know?
Yeah, and they're all over the place with them teeth.
Around. Yeah, so...
When I would come home, it was just me and Jim, and it felt like it was World War II. I'd walk in the house, and he would just be on my ankle. I don't know what the deal was. It was horrible.
I still prefer my little puppy biting me versus chewing up stuff around the house.
That's true.
Take my arm, take my ankle any day over the carpet and over all the wires that are plugging in electric appliances.
Yeah, Puppy Jim was not a destroyer. He didn't destroy much, but he was a biter. He still kind of is a biter.
He never grew out of it.
He's only 2 and 11 months.
Yeah.
He's just a baby.
Do yourself a favor and follow The Riot on Instagram at RadioU Riot.
A daredevil who yesterday was arrested after climbing to the top of the Sphere in Las Vegas. His name is Mason DeChamps. He calls himself the pro-life Spider-Man. Looks like he made it pretty far before authorities finally stepped in and told him he had to get to, hey, you, get down from there.
Because they're not going up there after him.
Yeah.
They just tell you to come down.
Yeah, they don't want to have to deal with that.
I mean, nobody else wants to climb the Sphere.
For the standard police officer, that's not something in their normal wheelhouse, I would say.
And it looks hilarious because the Sphere, obviously, is, like, lit up.
Yeah.
Like, it's never not something crazy. And so as he's climbing up this circular building, it looks like it has, like, an eye on it right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's, like, bright pink and blue.
Yeah.
It looks pretty crazy.
It almost it looks like he's climbing into a giant galactic hole.
Yeah, it does, like a black hole.
Yeah. He also kind of looks like a little bug. I guess ironically that he's the pro-life Spider-Man. He looks like a little insect climbing on this giant illuminated sphere. I actually think, though, when you talk about protests, we've talked about some in the past, like it wasn't that long ago, somebody throwing soup at the Mona Lisa, and it seems unclear the goal that they're trying to accomplish. And it's like, is that really a good protest if nobody knows what you're talking about? I think this is a pretty effective protest because it's not hurting anybody. And maybe this is just because of the news coverage, but it's pretty clear he's up there. He's pro-life. He's climbing to raise money apparently for homeless pregnant women, and so it's all clear. He's making it very obvious what he's doing there, and it's just him in the sphere, and that's it.
A tough climb.
Yeah, I'm impressed.
And you have to think too, like the outside of the sphere,
Mm-hmm.
as he's walking on that, is that all not like equipment?
Yeah,
That like actually shows, like, because I mean, obviously the sphere is always like lit up with something like we said, and so you feel like he has to be breaking things as he's walking across it.
That's what I was thinking too. It's actually led me to many thoughts about the sphere that I've never thought before, which is how do they maintain that thing? What is it actually made out of? I would have assumed it was slippery. It's definitely got to be a climb way different.
You thought it was like a fushigi.
What is that?
A fushigi?
Yeah.
The thing that you like.
Those magic balls? Yeah, I don't know. I didn't think it was actually rotating or something like like that big ball in the water fountain that's always moving.
I've seen that one.
I didn't think it was like that, but I just figured it was slick on the outside. I pictured it like like a polar bear trying to get on top of a ball that's floating in water. That's how I picture me trying to climb the sphere. And I imagine for this guy, even though he successfully did it, it's got to be like a different climb than he's ever done. He's climbed other buildings, but they're like more standard skyscraper type things.
They're not in the shape of an oval.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, so I just imagine this being real simple. And I don't know, and this is a sad thought, but I was like, the sphere is going to look real ridiculous if the funding goes under for it and they don't maintain it, and like all of a sudden the visual panels start to like burn
Fall
out.
off.
Yeah, or like you have the old computer screens where like the images get burned in.
And yes.
And the sphere starts to have that, but there's just a different bunch of different ones.
And all of a sudden the pictures just don't look good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or
If it,
like
ever falls
bits and
out
pieces.
if it ever falls out of favor in Vegas, people stop being excited about it, it could start to look real ridiculous. Even more ridiculous than it does.
Yeah, I was about to say that, yeah.
The only thing Isaiah loves more than the riot is himself.
Someone who probably still lives with his mother and hates himself.
You're listening to The Riot on RadioU.
Valentine's Day coming up real soon. By the way, speaking of Valentine's Day, relationship expert Sheena joining the show here about an hour from now. If you've got something you think we should ask her, let us know at 8772 RadioU. I don't think we'll ask her specifically this, but I do have here the list of the most popular Valentine's Day candies broken down by state. And it's actually, I shouldn't do this off the, to start things off, but it's kind of disappointing, this list.
Well, give it to us.
Because the top ranked
Great
candy,
to hear.
Yeah, I'm really selling this one. The number one most popular Valentine's Day candy is Hershey Kisses.
Well, that's trash.
Yeah.
But you got to think, though, the Hershey Kisses just built for Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Just give me a kiss,
Just simply in the name alone. Obviously, the standard Hershey Kiss is not the best version of the kiss, but I would say that you're never disappointed with a kiss because you just know the Hershey Kiss, it's pretty good. It's okay, but it's not the best. But number two, even worse to me, is the Valentine's themed M&Ms.
Not a fan of M&Ms. I am not.
Yeah, just the standard M&Ms are just not exciting. Not exciting. Other candies that were near the top of the list include chocolate hearts and chocolate roses. And in Alabama, they like candy necklaces to go a little off the beaten path.
Well, I've seen a candy necklace.
Yeah. Would you ever give that to somebody for Valentine's Day?
I think I probably did when I was like 7.
Yeah, that's about when it feels.
I wouldn't give it to my girlfriend now.
It could be a little sweetener you add in.
You have to wear this.
It's kind of nice
you
on top
have
of
to.
everything else. What I wish this list was, one, is just more diverse of more fun candies and possibly also better. But what I really think would be interesting is, what is the best candy or specifically chocolate that comes when you get the big chocolate heart? Which candy are you hoping for? Which chocolate are you hoping for when you take the first bite?
I love those variety packs.
Yeah.
But the thing about the variety packs is you'll never, at least one person will never eat them all.
Yeah, they're not good for an individual.
But let me ask you this. When you give the variety pack, do you think it should be given with the little guide or without the guide?
That's tough. I like the guide. I like having the guide.
You like knowing what you're getting?
Because I will just eat anything in there, but I like to know the couple that I really, really need to avoid. Anything with coconut, I want to know.
Just the risk you run.
Yeah, but it does kind of add some fun, some adventure playing chocolate roulette.
Like if you and your girl are going to sit down, you should get rid of that and just go based off the eye.
Yeah.
My mom always, for some reason, whenever she has one of those chocolate assorted boxes, she never has the guide. And so she just gives me a box of chocolates.
Yeah.
And then I look in there to pick one, and it's never a good one.
I wonder if some brands typically have the guide and some don't. I'll tell you which one I don't like is it the Whitman's?
Whitman's.
Whitman's only seems to sell samplers. Why don't they have enough like good chocolate to just sell it individually?
You got Godiva, you got Russell Stover.
Godiva's good, yeah. Russell Stover, I don't know about Russell Stover.
Not so sold on that one, huh?
I think they're okay.
L.A. Burdick. Oh, Ghirardelli.
Now we're talking.
Don't tell me with some Ghirardelli.
Yeah.
You know what else is popular on Valentine's Day that I've never had? Those Ferrero Rochers.
Oh, those are good.
You have one of those before?
Yeah, those are good.
Who got you one of those?
I bought them for myself.
Of course you did.
Yeah, because it was lonely.
They just look fancy, dude. They look fancy.
They're like hazelnuts, so they taste like Nutella.
Oh, really? I love Nutella.
Yeah, I know you do.
Nobody's ever gotten those for me before, but they look like something I'd like because they got that gold wrapping paper on them.
You just wait till Thursday. You get some on discount for yourself.
Oh, yeah. Some Ferrero Rochers. They just sound fancy.
We're not sure who behaves worse, the Riot or their dogs.
I don't even know how to behave like a real human being.
The Riot, Radio U.
Gamers and Disney fans alike should be excited about this. Disney has announced a partnership with Fortnite maker Epic Games. They're going to be creating what they call a persistent universe. It's Disney themed. It interoperates with Fortnite, and it will give you the opportunity to play, watch, shop, and engage with content, characters, and stories from Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, Avatar, and more. $1.5 billion partnership.
It looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
You watch the video? That video is pretty sick.
Yeah. It's but I mean, it's easier to make a short video look pretty cool than a whole like persistent universe. So I don't know, but I'm intrigued. To say the least.
So is this just a part of Fortnite? A new season coming?
It says,
or is it its own thing?
Interoperates. So I think it's like it's not going to replace Fortnite, to be sure. The Fortnite that you know and love will obviously continue on, but will this will work together with Fortnite? Will it actually be within Fortnite? That I'm not exactly clear on how that works. Although some are saying it should be very, very similar to something Fortnite already does, which a similar partnership, Lego Fortnite, which is a Lego version of Fortnite. It's not exactly the same game, but it's still very similar.
Got it. So a new game.
Yeah. But I mean, it sounds like you can just do just about anything in this Disney. Some might call it a Disney World.
I like it.
It might even be kind of like a Disneyland within Fortnite where you could do Disney things.
See, I'm thinking if I could have a battle royale, because it said you can use like Star Wars characters, Marvel characters, other Disney characters. If I could have a Fortnite battle royale using some of my favorite characters, I'd like that a whole lot more.
I don't know if you can do that currently, but in the past you've been able to do that. But it's not free Fortnite's free to play, but to be Darth Vader or whatever, you got to pay, right?
Yeah, you got to. Well, yeah.
But why did you?
Some skins come for free, but just a couple.
Yeah, probably not the good ones though. But
yeah.
But why does your mind just go to killing battle royale? Why can't Disney? Disney's the happiest place on earth. Why can't we go in there and just shop and engage with Disney characters such as
No, I don't want to shop and engage.
You don't want to engage with Deadpool while also shaking Goofy's hand virtually while also saying hello to Moana?
No. I want to see Moana take on Thor. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. I want to see Darth Vader take on Iron Man.
You know what, Disney Fortnite, the possibilities are endless. So maybe we can make that happen.
We're not sure who behaves worse, the Riot or their dogs.
I don't even know how to behave like a real human being.
The Riot, Radio U.
We're going to make sure you are prepared for Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day weekend. If you're celebrating early this weekend, we've got a relationship expert, Sheena, joining the show in about 30 minutes. Any questions you think we should ask her, let us know at 877-2-RADIO-U. Make sure you stick around to hear her answers. Now, PETA, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, back in the news. They sent a letter earlier this week to Chance Rides in Wichita. People train don't run out of Wichita. Chance Rides is the largest manufacturer of amusement rides in the country. One of the things they make, carousels. What do you normally see on carousels?
Children.
Riding.
Sometimes adults.
But what are they riding?
Oh, they're riding horses.
Yeah, horses. Sometimes other animals. And PETA wants that to stop.
They're back at it again.
Yeah. PETA in their letter says that animal-themed carousels that normalize the use of animals as conveyances and amusements. They don't want that.
You know, there's so many things that PETA really has like a pretty good reasoning to be upset for.
Some good legs to stand on.
They've got a lot of credibility.
When it comes to like probably cows being beheaded and stuff.
Animal abuse.
Yeah.
This one here.
Yeah.
Not their best work.
Pick your battles, you're saying?
They keep on coming up with these wild things that they're upset with. And whenever I hear PETA now, I'm starting to laugh. Every time that I hear them say anything.
Yeah.
Their credibility is just shooting downward for me.
Well, they suggest that instead of animals with carousels, maybe they could be replaced with vehicles or of different various kinds, cars, airplanes, spaceships, bulldozers. They don't say this, but submarines, I would like to add in there. Also, whimsical designs like rainbows, shooting stars, and brooms.
Like what they're saying, that's not like those aren't bad ideas.
No, they're not.
That's fine. Like I'm sure a kid would love to ride in an airplane or a spaceship. But also, there's nothing wrong with the horse. Horses have been ridden for like the entire time we've been on Earth.
Yeah.
They're like the main vehicle in history.
Well, you know why? Because they're on carousels.
That's why.
Yes.
That makes sense. That adds up.
It starts with the carousel, and then kids grow up seeing that you can ride a fake horse on a carousel, and then they think, I want to ride a real horse in real life, and then they do.
Like, what child hasn't said, I want to ride the horsey?
Yeah.
I want to ride the pony.
That's right. Now, all this said, and I think we've alluded to this, that PETA, or that carousels with things other than horses on them are superior. If you have a choice, if there's a carousel that has all the every different animal in the zoo. I want
to ride the giraffe.
Yeah, I'm riding the kangaroo or something.
Maybe the cougar.
Yeah, something.
The lion.
I saw a carousel that has a bag of chips you can ride.
Bag of chips?
Yeah, and soda.
Well, that's just unrealistic.
Yeah.
Now what are we teaching the children?
Which makes it fun.
What are we teaching these children? They can ride a bag of chips?
Uh-huh.
Nah, put them on a lion.
To use their imagination.
Makes way more sense.
Yeah, right. So I like the idea of switching it up. I think chance rides could learn a thing or two, and carousel makers in general could learn a thing or two. But I really don't think that putting horses on carousels is hurting anybody.
I don't even know what they're upset about. That's the thing. I don't understand.
Well, they're upset that the carousels are normalizing the use of animals as conveyances and amusements.
Yeah, but riding horses is a very normal thing. I didn't know that PETA was against riding horses. That's like, yet again, their main thing.
The main thing of horses.
That's the main thing, yeah. Being ridden.
Well, horses can do. Yeah, horses, if they're siding up with PETA here, they better be careful what they wish for. Because if horses, if we stop riding them, all of a sudden, what are they good for?
Why does a girl want a horse? To ride it.
Yeah.
Why are they being sold for $7,000 to ride it?
Yeah. You might be thinking, you're a horse, you're thinking, man, I wish these people didn't keep putting these saddles on me and making me fjord rivers and stuff. But then all of a sudden, people stop doing that. Then what are you doing, horse?
Horses weigh like 1,000 pounds. We're like 100 pounds. They were like built to be ridden.
Yeah.
Like that saddle fits so perfectly upon their back. They have no issues hauling me around.
It just makes sense. They're going to be hauling. I mean, they're going to be walking around anyways. Might as well do it with a person.
Disinformation, mispronunciations, bad impressions. That's Hudson. This is The Riot on Radio U.
I want your thoughts on this, Isaiah. You know, there's some health benefits to going barefoot everywhere, but you'd never do that, would you?
I have soft feet. I wasn't even a barefoot kid.
Really?
I couldn't. I don't know what was wrong with me. I couldn't do it.
How often did you wear shoes? Like just
every time I went outside.
Okay. What if you went to like your friend's house? Did you keep your shoes on in their house?
No, if I'm inside the house, I'm good.
Oh, you're good.
But I'm not like a run around outside barefoot kind of kid.
I have here a couple that's not only run around outside barefoot people, they're do everything barefoot people. But you can imagine if you want to go into stores, places of business, they don't take kindly to people coming in barefoot. A lot of them have signs, no shoes, no service. So I don't know if you've heard of content creator Christy Fritz, but her and her husband, big on the barefoot lifestyle. And so what they've done is their entire shoe collection, they've removed the soles of the shoes so that it looks like you're wearing shoes, but the bottoms of the shoes are gone. So that on the bottom, they're barefoot, but the top of the foot is covered. So to the naked eye, it seems they're wearing shoes and they're able to go wherever they want and no one's the wiser.
I have seen this video.
Yeah.
This seems crazy.
It seems unhinged to me.
It seems like, I don't know why they cut the bottoms out of all their shoes.
Yeah.
So now they're completely committed. And they have a lot of pairs of shoes.
It says,
I would have bought a crappy pair of shoes and cut the bottom out.
Yeah.
Like from Goodwill or something for like $10. They're cutting the bottoms out of a bunch of pairs of shoes that are like expensive shoes.
It says their shoe collection worth $20,000. These are designer shoes.
Well, it sounds like that seems kind of redundant, doesn't it?
What do you mean?
Hypocritical. You're telling me these people are really embracing the barefoot lifestyle?
Yeah.
But they have $20,000 worth of shoes?
Well, if you have to cover your feet, you might as well cover them with something that looks good.
Just seems like
high
they're
quality.
It seems like they're big shoe people.
Yeah.
It seems like they love shoes, and now they're acting as if they hate shoes. I have like $100 worth of shoes. This is $20,000 worth of shoes?
$20,000 between the two of them.
Oh,
$20,000.
okay. 10K a piece. Got it. Yeah, makes sense.
But I mean, to everybody else now, they're essentially worthless because they have no soles. And so on the bottom of the shoe, yeah, it's just foot to pavement or tile or whatever it is down there.
You think their worst nightmare is what, like gravel?
I don't know. I feel like if you always are barefoot, you build up a tolerance.
No.
Yeah.
There's no way.
When I was a child, we had a gravel driveway. I was a big barefoot kid, and
There's no way you made it across.
Yeah.
No, you didn't. I had a gravel driveway through too.
Yeah.
And I did not like going barefoot, but every now and then I'd find myself out there.
You get used to it.
No, you don't.
You learn. There's two things. One, you don't run on the gravel. The more you run, the faster you try to go, the worse. You want to walk slowly.
You want to tiptoe.
Yeah.
You gotta go real light, but it still hurts.
And yeah, then you get like the calluses built up, and you eventually have like caveman feet. You're fine. I think that's what these people are headed for. Christy Fritz, she's gonna have caveman feet.
See, one of the few things I always talk about, I watch the show Naked and Afraid, right?
Yeah.
And one of the first things I would do if I was on that show, I would make shoes.
Make sandals.
Because one of my biggest downfalls, I think, in the woods would be I would be horrible at maneuvering.
Yeah.
I couldn't walk through the woods barefoot. That's crazy talk. How do you do that for 21 days? I don't know.
The woods, that's a nightmare. All the sticks, splinters.
These people's day-to-day life. Imagine how many times a day you would step on something that feels unpleasant.
Yeah. It feels like it would have to happen. But they also seem like they live in the city, so they're probably just walking on sidewalks. But then, but all the nasty stuff that's on sidewalks in a city.
And then taking a shower at the end of the day. Think how gross your feet would be.
Ooh. Acceptance. This is the riot.
There's never been a can of worms they didn't open. The Riot, Radio U.
Aha! Our Thursday tradition choice champions. We have a topic. Isaiah and I, we do a fantasy draft, choosing 3 picks each, snake draft style. From that topic, you decide which of us comes up with a better team and which picks we miss completely. Today, we're picking romantic movies with Valentine's Day right around the corner. Next Thursday would be after Valentine's Day. It'd be too late to do this. So let's choose. I'll start. We're not going to have a romantic movie choice champions and not choose The Notebook.
Oh, The Notebook.
The Notebook.
At number 1.
Yeah.
That's a good choice.
Who could argue with that?
I like the way you're thinking.
Probably only somebody who hasn't seen it.
I've never seen it. But I know that it's popular.
It's popular.
I'll follow that up with my favorite rom-com. I'm going with Crazy Stupid Love. Ryan Gosling,
Yep.
Steve Carell, Emma Stone, some fantastic twists, some great comedy.
Yeah, Ryan Gosling, a romantic.
Have you seen that one?
Romantic guy. No.
Oh, it's good.
Actually, yeah, I have.
You probably have.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Ryan Gosling teaches Steve Carell how to get back out there.
That's right.
Ryan Gosling is the bad boy, and then he ends up dating Steve Carell's daughter, Emma Stone.
Good choice. Emma Stone.
I'm going to follow that up with Beauty and the Beast.
Really?
Beauty and the Beast.
The cartoon or the weird one?
I want the animated Disney version.
Yeah, everybody does. It's better.
It seems as if you're going with romance, I mean, that's one of the purest forms. Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
Some people call that this show.
Beauty and the Beast?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but which one is which?
We'll never know.
You can only find out by watching the Radio U Riot Facebook page and YouTube. I've got the next 2 picks. I'm going to go another. You cannot, I don't think, have a romance movie draft and not choose Silver Linings Playbook. Bradley Cooper.
Yep.
Robert De Niro. A great movie. Great movie. Jennifer Lawrence. Some say that was her big break. her announcement to the world. So that's an excellent choice. And then finally, this one, I'm going off the rails with this one, but I have to follow my heart. And that is I Love You, Man. Bromance.
Wow.
Jason Segel.
That's a good movie.
Paul Rudd. Yeah, it doesn't have to be man and a woman falling in love, getting married, and kissing. It can be a bromance, friends, and funny along the way. Lots of laughs. You know I love Paul Rudd, so I Love You, Man is my final choice.
I love it. I will wrap it up with another one that I hold close to my heart, as it is up there for one of my favorite Disney movies. I'm going to go with Hercules, which may not be the traditional romance movie, but it kind of like shows true for me. The woman trying to set him up, stabbing him in the back, but him giving it all up for her anyway. A true hero in romance. That's my 3.
Yeah. All right. Tell your girlfriend we're watching Hercules, the cartoon, for Valentine's Day.
Oh, I love a little Disney romance.
There's your choice champions for the romance movies draft. I have The Notebook, Silver Linings Playbook, and I Love You, Man. Isaiah has
Crazy Stupid Love, Beauty and the Beast, and Hercules.
8772 Radio U. Who chose the better team? And which picks did we miss? Clearly, there's probably several. Let us know.
Add a little riot to your Instagram feed. Follow @RadioU Official. The Riot. Radio U.
We're in the midst of Choice Champions, the romance movies edition ahead of Valentine's Day. I had the first pick. I went with The Notebook, followed by Silver Linings Playbook, and I Love You, Man.
I had Crazy Stupid Love, followed by Beauty and the Beast, followed by Hercules.
And the votes are rolling in. Susanna says the only one I've seen is Beauty and the Beast. Plus, that one is amazing. So going with Isaiah. D, Isaiah. And my 3 are Our American President, You've Got Mail, and Sleepless in Seattle. Big Tom Hanks fan. D must be. Those are good ones, though. You seen any of those?
I think I've seen Sleepless in Seattle.
Yeah. Carrie simply says Isaiah. Shauna. Her top 3, Maid of Honor. Is that the one with Robin Williams?
I can tell you in a second.
P.S. I Love You. And The Proposal. Although she had an honorable mention, which I think I should have included, and that is The Princess Bride. That is a great movie.
Shauna killed it here because the one I was in between, I was going to pick The Proposal because I love that movie. Sandra Bullock, Ryan Reynolds, pretending to marry your boss to keep her in the country. It's a fantastic movie.
I've never seen or even heard of The Proposal.
And hilarious with Ryan Reynolds.
But she's sticking with me because of The Notebook is Shauna's vote. Thomas says, oh man, you made this tough with Beauty and the Beast versus I Love You, Man. I'm going to go with Isaiah for the nostalgia. It's his favorite Disney movie. He also says his favorite rom-com, though, Hitch. Kevin James,
Fantastic.
Will Smith, Eva Mendes. So good.
That one did cross my mind.
Yeah.
But I did not go with that one. But that's a good movie.
I was never as big a Hitch fan. Amanda says, Isaiah, I'd watch Hercules. The soundtrack is awesome. Hercules is that underrated Disney movie for sure. Danny DeVito, obviously a great role as Phil. There are some great songs. Even Hades, the villain, and Bobcat Goldthwait playing whatever one of those little demon little. I don't know what those things are, but it is good. Stephanie, I like Hudson picks, but the 40-Year-Old Virgin and Hall Pass were also good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's another direction of the romantic comedy kind of direction. But thank you, Stephanie, for your vote. And Regina says, I'm going with Hudson because of The Notebook. Beautiful movie. You got to see it, Isaiah.
I'll have to tap in.
And she also warned us that the book is different from the movie, the ending. But don't worry, Regina, there's no chance either of us will read the book. I can assure you of that.
Any ones you almost picked?
Some other ones that crossed my mind were A Star is Born, which I didn't like as much at first, but the music holds up. But I think if I watched the movie again, I still wouldn't like the movie as much as just liking the songs. This one, controversial, Shape of Water. That's the sea monster love movie, but I liked it a lot.
That would have been crazy as a choice.
Yeah, but I don't like it as much as a romance movie. I just think it was a fun movie.
Got it.
Also, Clueless. Come on, Paul Rudd, Rachel McAdams, and then also this is an oldie, but one of the iconic romance movies, Casablanca.
Dang, you had some good ones.
Yeah.
The only other ones I considered, Wall-E.
What?
I was gonna flip Wall-E.
Yeah.
What do you mean Wall-E? What? Wall-E was a fantastic one. I was considering many of Disney movies.
Yeah, I can
because
tell.
I was between Beauty and the Beast, Wall-E,
Yeah.
and I couldn't do Shrek and Beauty and the Beast because that's the same concept.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the Beast, the Beauty. My girlfriend disagrees with my choices, shockingly.
Shocker.
She says barely any of those count except for Crazy Stupid Love. And she said you didn't pick any Nicholas Sparks movies, which apparently are The Choice, The Longest Ride, The Best of Me, Dear John, The Lucky One, Safe Haven. I've never seen any of those. Love.
Sounds like she's voting for me.
Sounds like, yes, she's against me per usual.
Some might say the great romance is playing out this weekend. Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce at the Super Bowl, some might say. I would say for this choice champions, we both lost to none of these candidates.
Hudson is the maple syrup, and Isaiah is the power protein flapjack. This is The Riot on Radio U.
Valentine's Day right around the corner. If you're looking for a date, one tool you could use, apparently ChatGPT. Because check this out. I have a guy from Russia who not only, first of all, made headlines when he used ChatGPT to write an academic thesis in just 23 hours. He's now gone on to use ChatGPT to filter through 5,329 girls' or dating profiles and then date his best matches to try to find love. He's using ChatGPT to go on dates. And you want to hear the craziest part of it all?
Let's hear the craziest part.
It worked. He's married to a girl that he found with ChatGPT.
After 120 hours and $1,400, he found his wife.
That's not bad.
That's pretty efficient.
That's pretty efficient. It sounds like it took him about a year to go through this whole process where ChatGPT he had it programmed to go through dating profiles, message ones that it thought were a good match for him based off of his criteria. And it was going back and forth. I don't think he ever talked to a gal until they actually met up on the date, which ChatGPT was setting up for him.
So he typed in his dream woman.
Uh-huh.
And then, the ChatGPT was the one messaging them too.
Yeah.
He was like, hey. And then asked him a bunch of really strict questions.
Uh-huh.
And those girls were like, yes or no. Are you more likely to hang out outside or have a night in? Outside. Perfect. Are you more likely to enjoy this type of food or this type of food? Perfect. Seems like a weird way to meet somebody.
Yeah. I mean, I can imagine how frustrated I get talking to my internet provider's chat bot instead of just actually getting a person on there. And then they give you a person and then that person still feels like they're an AI chat bot.
And they're still asking you the same questions the AI just asked you.
That's right.
I hate that. That's like the worst thing. When they start asking me questions, I immediately say, human.
Yeah.
Can I speak to a representative, please?
Yeah. That's I just keep typing in representative. But like I said, the representatives still feel like you're talking to AI. I feel like that's what many women probably just experienced when this guy was with his dating profile.
And it's funny too because when he went on the dates, like the ChatGPT pretty much told him that these girls are perfect for you.
Yeah.
So when he was going on these dates, he's like, I'm about to meet my wife.
Yep.
I'm about to meet my wife. So if you go into every day thinking that, you're more than likely going to like somebody.
But, I mean, he went on several dates. It says 12 dates with the best matches. And then eventually one of those matches wound up being a real good match because one thing led to another, got married. So it worked. And even now that the gal is obviously aware of his strategery because this is in the news, they're still married. So I guess she was fine with it, evidently.
ChatGPT just did the part that nobody wants to do, which is try to figure out if you're compatible with him or not.
Yeah.
Asking all the questions.
Uh-huh.
And then once you figure out that you are alike, then it makes it a lot easier.
Yeah. So you clearly got to be very smart to set this up. And so that's probably also a mark in his favor.
Yeah.
He's a very, very smart guy. But nevertheless, ChatGPT played a pretty pivotal role for this guy.
Where is this function in Tinder?
Hudson is the maple syrup, and Isaiah is the power protein flapjack. This is The Riot on Radio U.
Isaiah, you're a big gym guy. Would you support this? A popular gym in Australia has banned the use of tripods to try to dissuade people like the gym influencers from coming in and filming. How do you feel about that?
I'm pretty indifferent about the tripod thing. I never see it happening. I have very few times ever seen someone filming themselves at the gym, but I have seen it before. But usually whenever someone is filming themselves in the gym, I don't always go to they're an influencer. Usually for me, it's like they just want to see their form.
Some people want to see their form. But if you saw somebody and you could tell they were doing influencer stuff and you were around, would you want them to, not the behavior, obviously, it sounds annoying to me if they were being gym influencer-y around you. But I just mean, would you actually want them to stop filming? Because I know a lot of people don't like to be filmed when they are working out. You wouldn't even want to be in the background of somebody else doing that.
And I understand that. But at the same time, for me, it doesn't matter. I don't care. Like, you could film my entire workout.
Yeah.
If I'm in the background of someone's gym influencer video. Because in my mind, I know that if I'm watching like a gym influencer talking about some exercise or some form, I'm usually focused on what they're saying and not the string bean Isaiah in the background.
See, that's what I'd be worried about if it was me. Fortunately, I just avoid it completely by never going to the gym. But I'd be worried that people would be watching the influencer and they'd be like, okay. But then they'd see me in the background and they'd be like, look at that idiot. What the heck is he doing? He's using that machine all wrong. And look at his Baboli pizza crust body and start making fun of me. And then all of a sudden I'm catching strays because I was in the background of a gym influencer video.
See, that's what people like try to justify when they get throw up in arms about things like this.
Yeah.
People don't pay attention to you. Nobody cares what you're doing. And so that's what I always think in the gym. Like when you're in the gym, it feels like all eyes are on you.
Yeah.
But nobody's looking at you. People are doing wild things in the gym every day. And all I'm focused on is just like, how quickly can I get out of here?
Yeah.
Nobody wants to be there. And so if you're that's why I always think if you're worried about people criticizing or making fun of you at the gym, nobody's looking at you, I promise.
I can do whatever I want.
You can do anything in there.
Yeah.
You can do absolutely anything in there, and everyone will forget about it in 3 minutes.
You can do anything you want except look at a girl.
Do yourself a favor and follow The Riot on Instagram at RadioU Riot.
She knows even more. You're an expert. You're a relationship coach. Thanks for coming in today, Sheena, joining us. Valentine's Day, getting real close. And so what better time to get some extra relationship advice? So, Sheena, the first thing as a relationship coach, what is the top thing that let's start with your single clients. If you got single people that are your clients, what are they asking you about right now with Valentine's Day coming up?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I hear a lot of questions right now from my singles. Like the top one is, how do I deal with being single during Valentine's Day? Everybody around me seems like they're in a relationship and in love, and I'm sitting here not. So that's the big one that I hear. And then kind of, how do I deal with the pressure of finding a date of, Valentine's Day is coming up. I want to, go out with somebody. So how do I deal with that pressure of, hearing that from my mom or my friends? So yeah, it's not a fun one. Hey, when are you going to get married? It's like, I need to get a date first. And another one that I hear a lot is like, how do I celebrate as a single? I don't know what to do. I don't want to go out to a restaurant by myself and everyone's going to be looking at me. So those are some of the questions I hear. But my favorite piece of advice is to take yourself out on a date. Valentine's Day is about love.
I like that.
So show yourself some love. Go ahead and do something that is self-love related, because as cliche as it might sound, you can't truly love somebody else until you learn to love yourself. So the way I talk about it is to look at this as practice. Practice loving yourself so you can really love that person when they do come into your life.
Ooh, I like that.
Yes.
Now we can totally 360 it. What do you do if you have somebody who, in your mind, is going to be your Valentine, and then you get around to asking them, like, will you be my Valentine? Will you be my girlfriend? Will you go on a date with me? And then they reject you harshly. They say no. How do you deal?
Every rejection feels harsh, doesn't it?
No matter what. It could be the nicest rejection, doesn't matter. How do you deal with the aftermath of that, of getting rejected?
Yeah, that's a great question. But first of all, it takes a lot of courage to ask somebody out on a date in general, but especially on Valentine's Day, because there's so much pressure. So my first thing I would say is give yourself some credit. You did what a lot of people would not do. A lot of people are not brave enough to take that first step, or they don't have that confidence to ask that big question. So first step is congratulate yourself for doing something that a lot of people wouldn't do. You took your shot, and you can't get a date if you don't take your shot. Another cliche, you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. So give yourself some credit.
Right,
hey, yes, it is. Kind of a sports fan over here. And I work with a lot of guy clients, so I use a lot of those analogies, and they really click. So I really enjoy using those. But so that's the first thing, is really give yourself some credit. And secondly, respect that person's decision by not taking it personally. A lot of times we feel like I'm the one that was rejected, but really it tends to be more about that person. Maybe they don't celebrate Valentine's Day. Maybe they already have a date, or maybe they are dating themselves right now. So it doesn't have so much to do with you as to what's going on with them. So another thing is, use this as a learning moment. A lot of us, weren't able to make that meal that we really are great at that first time. Or maybe the first time we shot a basketball, we were terrible. We airballed it. A lot of things take practice, and this is no different. When we're dating and asking people to go out on dates, we're probably not going to be too great at it at first, and that's okay. So see this as practice. So last thing I would say is don't give up. Just because one person said no doesn't mean that next person isn't going to say yes. There are a ton of singles out there. I promise you there are. As a dating coach, lots of singles out there who are ready to say yes to that date. So don't give up and keep trying, because if you give up after one no, then you're selling yourself short.
Yeah, rejection's tough. Everybody gets rejected. We can't even count how many times Hudson.
I
mean, how many times you've been rejected. So don't feel so bad.
My wife still rejects me. Talking about rejection and heartache around this time, it also feels like a huge time. We've talked about several of these, for people to want to get revenge on an ex, or not even revenge, but just find different ways to move on, because this is a time where you might be thinking about an ex a lot. So one of the top ones we saw recently was a animal shelter in New Jersey. They said you can pay $50 and we'll name a cat after your ex and then neuter it. Feels a little messed up, but I want to know your take as a relationship coach. Do you think that's actually a positive way to let go of your ex, or do you think that actually helps your mindset, or what would your advice on that?
I would say that it helps in the moment. It helps you feel better in that moment, right? Kind of like punching a wall. Okay, I feel good, and then it starts to hurt. So I would say it's very similar to that, where in the long run, you're not really doing yourself any favors. You're allowing that anger to kind of take hold of you. And that anger is really what we call a secondary emotion. There's something much deeper there, whether it's hurt, betrayal, shock. And when we just focus on that anger, we're not really looking at why did that breakup happen? Why am I feeling this way? So we're not really allowing ourselves to move on. We're just burying those feelings to take with us into the next relationship. And I don't have to tell anybody that relationships are tough enough as it is to be bringing baggage in with that relationship.
Yes.
So I definitely don't recommend doing things like that. I would say be a detective of your own feelings and figure out, why am I feeling this way and why did this breakup happen, versus just trying to bury those feelings.
Hi there, I'd like to cancel an order. Not Isaiah. We don't want the cat being named Isaiah.
And then one last thing, because Valentine's Day, it really does feel like, it is. It's a day for those that are in relationships. What are the people that are in relationships, if you coach any of them, what are they asking you when Valentine's Day is rolling around?
Yeah, so number one question is gifts. What do I get them? What do I do to make them feel special, to show that love? And how do I celebrate Valentine's Day, again, especially for those who have been together for a long time, without breaking the bank or, being boring, or, how do I make this creative? So those are some big questions I get. And then more specific questions I get sometimes from like women are, what do I do for my man? This is a holiday geared towards women. It's about roses and chocolate. And I'm like, I don't know what to get him. Another one is for long distance relationships. So what do you do in that situation? So one of my favorite recommendations that kind of works for all of these is to create a voucher book. And what I mean by that is creating vouchers for your partner. So this gives you an opportunity to show them that you really know them and care about them. So say your partner really loves it when you make them home cooked meals. One of the vouchers could be for a home-cooked meal that they could turn in at any time, and then you can enjoy that all year long. It's creative, it's fun, and it's cost-effective.
Geez, you hear that, E? Make me a voucher book. I'm ready. I can't wait. I'll be cashing them in all year long.
That's great, too. And the best part about that advice is that's last minute, too.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about rushing out and buying something that's overpriced right now. It's up to the last minute. That voucher book, the coupons, man.
Mm-hmm.
We love the coupons.
Yes. Sheena, that is such great advice. Thanks for coming in. For anybody who wants to find out more about Sheena, wellness360coach.com, and that's Sheena Hansel, HANSCEL, and you can find out more about maybe having Sheena help you out with your relationships. She already clearly helped a lot here. Thanks so much, Sheena.
Thanks so much.
Find more Riot content online. Riot.radiou.com.